What's up, guys? Welcome back here to Carmen Estrada Pictures, and hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. And as you already know, I talked about in the previous video. You haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. Go check it out, y'all. But I don't really upload. A lot of YouTubers, they'll upload daily or weekly videos, but it's always about either they vlog or they prank or they do a variety of things, you know what I'm saying? But with me, I just always been one to post whatever, whenever, usually just to show my family, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to make videos, especially for my grandma and grandpa's anniversary, you know what I'm saying? Because which is crazy because they both passed away in January. My grandmother passed away about 6 years ago. My grandfather passed away last year. So I make videos and kind of put pictures and different videos and transition and a song on top of it for their anniversaries, and something cool I like to do. But of course, Facebook, you can't put anything with music. They'll mute it. So that's why I upload it to YouTube, and then I can just share it on there. So it's real simple. That's why I use YouTube for mainly. But I want to do, besides that, but do like not daily, but do like weekly videos for you guys and do different things. Talk about wrestling and music and films and, and just a variety of things, and maybe give you guys advice. You know what I'm saying? Or talk about stuff that I've gone through, because you guys may have gone through the same thing. And I think it'd be cool to, to do that for you guys, and hope you guys do tune in to that. And I want to do at least twice a week. I'm not 100% sure. We'll kind of play it by year, but I'll try. Well, guys, today, we're going to talk about a couple things. I don't know if you ever seen, on Friday, we went to go see the movie called Life of the Party with Melissa McCarthy. Hilarious. Without giving away too much of the movie, basically the mom, and the daughter, and the father, they're taking the daughter, dropping her off at a college, and it's a university, and all this great stuff. And basically, as the mom and the dad were leaving the campus, the dad says, "I thought it'd be a good time to let you know that I want a divorce." And the mom was upset. She could not believe that, you know what I'm saying? If it was me, right? What she should have done was, because, I don't know, because he was in love with somebody else, right? It was the realtor, right? I would have told them, what the hell? She was upset too. She left out of the car crying. She shouldn't have cried. She should have been mad. She said, "You know what? How dare you break our vows?" And you know what? Fine. You want a divorce? That's fine with me, right? I would tell him to go pound sand. But anyway, but that's basically, guys. And then basically she decides to, because in the beginning of the marriage, her and her husband were in school. But then I forgot what happened, and they couldn't financially afford for both of them to stay in school. So the mom dropped out, and the dad stayed in school. Right? But anyway, but so she decides to go back to school, finish her last year, and do it and all that, and finish it. And the daughter, was there, and it's cool because usually, when you're in school, if you ever go to school with your daughter, it's always awkward or whatever. And her daughter's friends, they loved the mom. My gosh, they looked up to her, and she was the life of the party. And it was a great film, guys. Check it out. It's an amazing film. And also, the week before, we seen a movie called Breaking In. I forget who's in it, but, basically this lady, her father, she really wasn't that close with her dad. They weren't really that close. He was more estranged from his family. But he ended up dying. He was going for a jog, and then he ends up getting hit by a car, and then And the guy comes out, and it was plotted. It was plotted. It wasn't an accident. The guy looks at him, and he steps on his face, and so I guess he wanted his money. He had to say. So they went to the house, him and 4 other guys, and they were going there. And at the same time, the guy's daughter, the dad's daughter and her 2 sons went there because they were going to sell the house and all that stuff and getting organized and all that. And the husband, he couldn't make it. He had to work or something like that. So he really couldn't make it. So basically, she ends up going with the 2 kids. And in the beginning, when they first got to the house, you feel weird, present. You even felt something weird too, right? But eventually, they end up, kidnapping, not kidnapping, but yeah, pretty much kidnapping the son and the daughter, right? And then all of a sudden, they look at the mirror, and the dad's house was pretty much bulletproof, man. It was so secure. So what he had to hide, that's why they never really got into much detail about that. But yeah, and then basically she just was outside ordering pizza when she looks in the window and she's like, what the heck? And then she look and there's the 2 other guys, and then you see that there's children there, and she tries to get in. She actually tries to throw a chair to break the glass, but the glass does not break. And it's crazy. Basically, she ends up killing all 4 guys, end up dying. Right? One of them ends up dying. One of them kills their own guy because she ends up, one of the guys, right? She ends up beating up the one guy, right? And somehow he knows the code to the safe, right? So she goes, you let my kids go, or she had a knife to the guy, right? Or I'll cut his throat. And he's the only one that knows how to do it, right? And she thought, oh, she can get her kids back, right? But the guy's like, the main guy's like, I don't care. And boom, shoots the guy. And then basically, yeah. But he had in his necklace, he had one of those dog tags. And inside he had the chip where it unlocks the code and everything for you. So they did that. But luckily they ended up killing all the other guys. And also the dad. The dad ends up showing up, and she's like, no. And then he ends up getting beaten up. He gets kicked in the head. Like, he's dead. But usually in these scenarios, in these films, usually the dad is dead. The dad dies. But luckily he didn't die, and they all end up okay after this, which is a pretty good film, guys. Check him out. Breaking In and Life of the Party. And yeah. I also want to talk to you guys today, those who are listening. Thank you all for tuning in today to Carmen Estrada Pictures Show, and I really do appreciate that. And, I also want to encourage you guys, if you haven't checked her out yet, if you don't know who she is, which she's been on the radio for 40 plus years, if you do not know her by now, what y'all living under a rock. Dr. Laura Schlesinger, not Dr. Laura Berman, no, Dr. Laura Schlesinger. Whenever I talk about Dr. Laura on this show, just so you guys know, I'm talking about the real one, Schlesinger, and one of my members in my group that I started a while back, called the Dr. Laura Schlesinger. It's all it's really called, and you type it in, and there's a few of them. There's another one that I was following, but I didn't really care for it. I don't know the rules and just weird things, and so I just decided to start my own group, and I think it was one of the best ones out there. Check it out, guys. And if you don't know which one it is, just type in Dr. Laura Schlesinger and go under the category groups. And then the picture where she's doing what she could. I think it was last year, she did a screening of Casablanca where she showed the movie, but then she also talked about the movie. And you'll see that picture of her talking. It says Casablanca. That's the overhead photo on the group. So check that group out. It's pretty cool. And one of the group members was telling me to check out Dr. Laura Berman, not because she likes her, just because of the crazy stuff. She's totally 360 to what Dr. Laura talks about and all this. I'm going to check her out and see kind of what she's really about. And I don't know, but I like to listen to Dr. Laura, guys. Dr. Laura Schlesinger, amazing, and a lot. And here's the thing about Dr. Laura, guys. A lot of the stuff she talks about is what people today would call old school ways, where it be, because back in the day, moms would raise the kids, she would raise the kids, and she would not only raise the kids, but she would stay home and cook the meals, do the dishes, do the laundry, and they took pride in that. I remember when I think about that, I think of I Love Lucy, man. I think about Lucy and Ricky, how Lucy, even before she was, you know, had little Ricky, she actually, stayed home. And that was, and there's one episode in the very last season where she wanted to, or she always wanted to be in show business, but Ricky never gave her a chance. But as you already know that, but like there's an episode where she finally got a job being Paul Douglas's girl Friday. She would do like, almost like a co-host, but she would do like the weather and all that. And then she would do it every day, but apparently she would do it, leave like at night, and she wouldn't come home till early in the morning, or I forget how it worked, but she really didn't see her family too much, and she really missed her family, so she decided that she wanted to quit. And when she quit, she was so excited to Ricky, yes, now I can make the meals, do the dishes, dust the house, make the beds, do the dishes, do the laundry, this and that, right? And she would sing that song, and it's crazy how back in the day, Mother, they took pride in what they did back in the day, I always think about, too, you haven't checked out the film series, we can talk about that next time, Andy Hardy film series with Mickey Rooney, amazing, like 14 films they made, I think. Last week or the week before, they showed on TCM. Well, they didn't show all the films. They didn't show one film, but they showed all the rest of the films. I didn't catch the first one, but I did watch the second one, and they showed them in order. But I didn't stay awake all night, so I just basically just DVR'd the whole series. I just watched each movie, and it was a good movie. I loved all the films. And it's crazy. I liked the mom. Let's talk about her name was Emily, right? That was the mom, and she would make the meals, and she wouldn't just make, hamburger helper or whatever. She would make like a roast, and that's a lot of mothers did back in the day. They made a roast. She would make some sides. She would make a dessert. And that's how they did. She wanted to make sure the children were well fed, and they weren't hungry. She would, you gotta eat. I'm sure I don't know why, your stomach obviously knows what you want. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what, and there's one, I guess, she was like, when Andy Hardy came home, she's like, I made your favorite dinner. Oh boy. Or I made your favorite or I made your favorite breakfast. Oh, what did Mrs. Hardy make for me today? This, and this, yeah, favorite. And she made a course, right? Even like there's even the one movie where he finishes high school and the next day, right? He wakes up, the next day, and his mom's like, I can make you, mom's like, oh, here you go, Andy. I cleaned I washed your shirt and I tightened up the buttons for you, right? See, back then, mothers, they took care of their kids. I'm not saying they don't do it now, but they did the dishes, or they, made the meals. They made a freaking full course meal. Like, who does that today? You know what I'm saying? But they did that. They mended the clothes. Like my grandmother, she had this blue light bulb. I remember this blue light bulb. When any of us would have socks, we just take it to grandma, and she would always put the light bulb in the sock, and she can sew it up. Right? That's what mothers did. They made the food. They did the dishes. They mended the clothes. You know what I'm saying? But not only I'm saying they did it, but they prided that. They took pride in their family, and that was the mom. She was the backbone of the family. And I think, and today, a lot of times in this generation, they see that as, oh, it's a chore, or mend the clothes, or whatever, right? You can do that or whatever, right? But then, even today, moms, they don't even like to iron. My grandmother always ironed, man. Every time she wanted to go, she went to church, or before she went to like the doctors, the day before, she always make sure she'd be in the room, got the iron out. Grandma always ironed it. I remember that. Grandma always knew how to iron. I think that was, to me, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool that, and nowadays people see that as, oh, it's old school ways, man. You don't do that no more nowadays. But you know why, though, that happened, and why people have that mentality today, women, is because the stupid feminist movement, women, they have to work and all that. Now you see a lot of men and women working. That's fine. I don't mind nothing against women working. It's just when they have a family, and kids, right? Don't make kids. Like Dr. Lord would say, don't make kids. Don't get married and all of a sudden crank out babies one after another if you plan on working and don't plan on raising your kids. That's a no-no. That's okay. Then why did you have kids if you're gonna dump them in daycare? You know what I'm saying? And it just, because of the feminist movement, you know what I'm saying? That wives don't have to. Wives can have kids. They can work and do this and that. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, why would any mother want to go out and get a outside job when they can have the best job, the most fulfilling job in the world? I don't understand that. Maybe you guys can help me understand that, but maybe I'm simple-minded. Maybe I'm old school too, because I agree with that, right? And a lot of times, it's what's, for me, but what's in the best interest of the child? What is in their best interest? We got to think about that. A lot of times it's always about me. Yeah, it's about you. But then once you start having kids, once that first kid is born, it no longer becomes about you. It becomes about what's the best interest of that child. And the feminist movement, and that's got to go. Giving a lot of women, that backwards thinking. You know what I'm saying? And they don't understand that. They think, it's okay, but it's not okay. And even today, in today's society, people think that they have to work people have to work to make a living. No, you don't. You don't, guys. And I remember there was a caller last week, with, a couple of days ago, actually, where it wasn't a call. It was a call, but it was more, but she actually wrote a letter to Dr. Laura, and Dr. Laura got her email, and it said, and how she was, her and her husband were working, right? They didn't have a family yet, but they were wanting to do it right. So they worked a couple of years until they're financially stable to go and work on, just live off of her husband's income. And once they did that for a couple of years, then they were able to live on his income. So they finally had kids, and it's the best decision they made, right? Because she's home raising the kids. And another thing, she was saying that people, it's impossible today. Kids have to work, and it's not possible. No, yet again, it's the feminist movement. Once again, it's the mentality of this day and age, and it's wrong, because she was saying that they make it work. They don't have designer clothes. They don't buy, go out to the movies a lot, go out to eat restaurants a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to the movies maybe once a month and go see a movie you really want to go see. Have a family movie night. Go out to the movies and see a movie, get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? But but you can do it though. You can make it work, called economizing, and maybe don't get the highest cable package. You get the smallest one. I'm pretty sure with cable companies you can make deals. I'm pretty sure. Because say you like horse racing, right? For instance, like I do, you want the TVG package, right? But the problem is, we have to get in order to get the horse racing channel, TVG, you have to get the premium, the highest cable. It's like $100-something, which is a lot of money for some people, and a lot of money. I would think it's a lot of money too. If I could afford it, it's too much, right? You don't really need all those channels. So I'm pretty sure you can get the lowest one, and then pay a little bit extra, a couple dollars extra, just to get the TVG, those channels that you want. You know what I'm saying? Or Boomerang. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, call economizing. And you guys, it's possible, guys. Just call economizing and not, and living simple, eating home. And it's cool because at home you can make your own meals, man. You can, what you eat, and it's good to eat healthy, guys. Eat a lot of fish, eating chicken. I'm trying to eat a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I really can't because, my mom makes dinner, but, you know what I'm saying? But you should always put veggies in there, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes my boyfriend, he'll make, ribs, or he'll make meat, and I think today he said he wants to make the carne asada, which I'm like, but But I like to make fish too. Like sometimes, like one time, I think, what was it? It was, yeah, that's really amazing. If you haven't had it yet at Costco. At Costco, they have this thing. I forget what the brand it is, but it's a white box, and it's tilapia, man. It's so good. It comes with a whole bunch of tilapia, but it's like it has already the bread and all that seasoning on it. You just put it in the oven. It is phenomenal. But like 12 minutes, boom, boom, take it out, done. I already finished it, but I make like at least two. They're not that big, so I make two, and I get some broccoli, put it in a bowl, warm it up, get some of that spray butter, get some of that garlic salt, mix it up in there. It's so good, guys. I highly recommend that. Yeah, I didn't even sell a batch of cod, but the cod's good, but I think I prefer more of the tilapia better. But I guess I went to a restaurant and I ended up getting the what's it called, the Atlantic salmon. It was pretty good. I like it. And it's cool. Even like the other day, I got what was it? Even I noticed, because you don't get as full. I went to, like the other day, Mom got Jack in the Box. I ended up getting a chicken sandwich, right? And it was chicken. It has I think provolone cheese, tomato, lettuce. It's so good. I noticed, cause a lot of times I used to get like the ultimate cheeseburger. I noticed getting the chicken sandwich, I don't get full. I don't get like stuff. Like when you get the ultimate cheeseburger, I can, not even done with it yet, I can just like, oh my goodness, I can probably save it and eat it the next day. But it's good though, guys. You know, to eat better and to make better choices and to eat healthy, and that's what I recommend. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. You know, but back to the thing, old school ways, guys. It's not old school ways. A lot of stuff today, like I talked about today, it's old school. It's not old school ways. It's, to use it maybe old school ways, but they're the ways that are the best. They're the best ways, right? Like Dr. Laura has said many times this story. She said that one time she was at a conference, right, giving a speech, and all these work people, and she asked them, okay, let me ask you guys a question. If you guys were to die tomorrow, and come back the next day as an infant or something like that, what would you rather? Would you rather be raised by a mother, by a nanny, an institutionalized daycare, right? And if you would want to be raised by anyone other than a mother, raise your hand. And not one single person in that audience raised their hand. Not one person raised their hand. Right? So, and that's why I'm excited. Dr. Laura is releasing a brand new book called The Atrocious Things People Do to Mess Up Their Other People's Lives, like their children's. Or even, I call on Friday, where this wife, right, her and her husband, she thought they were good. Her and her husband were good, right? And then one morning, at 7 o'clock in the morning, while she was getting her kids ready to go to school, her so-called best friend called her up on the phone and said that she slept with her husband, right? Oh, I slept with your husband, but she wanted to hurt her and hurt the husband, right? That's what happened. She couldn't believe it, and Dr. Laura says, "Yeah, well, how can I recover?" And what does recover mean? Not feeling, upset or whatever. I can't fix that. Right? But she was saying, though, is I would tell the husband that, and here's the thing, right? Also, here's a topic real quick before we finish out the show today. And we can talk a whole day about these topics, guys. But basically, she was like, the girl was like, told her husband, because she cannot stand him. It's not that she can't stand him, but just that for what he did, and he broke the vows, right? So basically, he's there throughout the day, but at nighttime she can't sleep with him. So he leaves and then he comes back. So he leaves at nighttime, right? So the kids don't know. And basically, Dr. Laura says, right. And all the thing you can do is, how old are the kids? I think like 6 and 7, which Dr. Laura couldn't, really young kids, right? So she says, you need to tell him, right? Tell him that for 14 years, we need to act, be friendly with each other. You're not my husband no more. We broke those vows, right? So now, as we got to live together in this home and just act like friends for the sake of the children, so they don't be devastated by what he did, right? And basically, yeah. And that's what, that is what happened, right? And she's like, yeah, you're right, Dr. Laura. So, and right, and that's what's best interest that's what's in the best interest of the children. We got to understand to do what's best for the children. And it may not be the easiest decision, but it's the best decision you can make. And Dr. Laura says, have no expectations. Don't check up on him. Don't check his phone. Don't check his emails, because you're technically not married to the guy. Technically, not legally, but you're still technically not married to him, right? But you're going to be in the home for 14 years. So last kid is 18, up and out. Then you can do whatever you want to do, right? Dump him. And a lot of times, guys, women, they're like, man, I don't want to do this. They want to leave, right? Well, what about my happiness? That's how I always refer to that. What about my happiness? A lot of women, they think about that. Oh, what about my happiness? My happiness. My happiness. Like I said, when you get married and once you crank out babies, it no longer becomes about your happiness, about what's in the best interest of the children. And it's the best interest of the children to be happy. Right? What about, people argue, what about they're going to see a loveless marriage? They don't need to know that you're not in love. Just be happy, friendly with each other, so that their world doesn't get broken up. And that's what happens, because what's going to end up happening is that, he's going to move away and all that. And then basically he's going to get a girl, right? He's going to get a honey, right? Bimbo. And then he's gonna, probably, then they're gonna go visit him with his new girl, with his new honey, right? And it may be more than one, because he might break up with one and get another one. Then you're gonna go back and forth, mom and dad. And mom gets a new boyfriend, and her stud, and his bimbo, and back and forth, and that's why marriages are failing today. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people, they don't have that great example of a marriage. Therefore, they don't know how to treat each other. They know all the mom and dad fighting, or they know my parents divorced. You know what I'm saying? But, but just sad today in this generation. But, and that's what I say. It's just sad, this generation, man. But, but it's just amazing to me, guys, and what's the best interest of the children. You can live together but not be in love with each other, but just be friendly. Hey, how's it going? How was your day? Do certain things like that, right? Things like that. So I don't know, guys, but what I'm saying, but it's what's best. I know especially a certain psychotherapist. My mom likes to listen to her. She's not on the radio no more. She ain't supposed to be back, but I don't care about it. But I would listen to the car because my mom would have her on, she would, really so. But I would listen to some of the phone calls, and she would be like, oh yeah, you get a divorce and this and that, right? Like, what about the kid? Like, really? I don't know. It's about your happiness. Ooh, all I know is Dr. Lowe would have pinched her head out big time. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? But it's just nuts. You know, especially for me though. I can say that my parents, they've been divorced for almost 10 years now, but here's the thing though. Right? I listen to Dr. Laura, so I already know I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So I recommend listening to Dr. Laura, but a lot of times you don't have that added in a home, you know, great marriage to look back and think this is what I want. Right? So it's just crazy, you know. I think about that caller, you know. I'm thinking, you know, I would ask Dr. Laura should ask too is, wait a minute, but were you? Because men don't cheat just to cheat, right? Why did he cheat? Was she being his girlfriend? Was she being nice and being sweet and giving him time, or was she not? Right? But I don't know. She seemed like a nice lady, but I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if Dr. would ask that, she would have found out. But that's what I like about Dr. Laura's program, because other times they're fine, right? They're fine. And then they'll say something and they cut their own throats. Like last week. One more call, guys. Last week, this lady calls in. I guess the husband's brother died 7 years ago. Her husband's brother died 7 years ago, and he has a lot of his stuff. And she thought, well, we don't need it. Well, it's value to him. It's called sentimental value. She's like, yeah, you're right. And she goes, well, he leaves it a mess all over the place, right? It's all over the place. Well, you know, be nice and say, you know, sweetie, and then get him a cabinet and put all the stuff in, right? And then Dr. Laura, and the lady, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then and she should have just, thank you, Dr. Laura, I appreciate your advice. Thank you, I'm going to do it. Hung up, but she cut her own throat. This is what she said. Don't add on, please. If you're good, don't add on, because you're going to cut your own throat. And she ended up telling Dr. Laura, and the stuff's in the garage. Dr. Laura goes, it's in the garage. Now, I want to pinch your head off. You calling me bitching about this and that when it's in the garage? And Dr. Laura says, it's a garage. You know, I don't care if it's messy, as long as you can get the car in and out, you know, which is right. When people come over to your house, they don't go in the garage. They go in the main house, right? But, people, when you call, my word of advice, when you call in and you're good, she gave you her advice and all that, don't add on, because it just cuts your own throat 90% of the time. Oh, man, guys. I appreciate you guys anyway for tuning in today. I'll be back here in a couple of days, hopefully. And I'll see you guys next time, guys. Don't forget to go do the right thing, as Dr. Laura always says, and do what's in the best interest of your children. Please and thank you. And until next time, guys, well, what can we say? And also, we can't say anything else, guys, but, pues ni modo. And don't forget to go make before you leave. See you guys next time.
What are you doing? No, I like to show my feet to nobody.
You're gonna feed that black and
movie
dirty.
camera? No, you give me study.
Close up.
I'm gonna hit you.
Alright. Smile. I got him.
Remember, did you tell down there? Mary, that's the only time I gave her. That's the only time I gave her on that much. Did Mary tell you? Did Mary tell? This is to Mary. I gave her some her jewels, and then she said, right? We had like that. Then she wanted her no milk. And then the kids were drinking Kool-Aid. They're very nice. She said, Kool-Aid. I go, no, you don't got sugar. You want a Kool-Aid? Okay, I'm going to a little bit, and you're going to tell your mother.
That's my mama.